In the world of manufacturing, there's this hidden flaw in the software a ton of companies rely on. And get this, it could be costing them a fortune. So today, we're going to dig into what that flaw is and how a really simple, almost elegant change can fix the whole thing. Okay, let's start with something we can all relate to. What connects baking cookies in your kitchen to massive industrial manufacturing? Think about it. You follow a recipe for, say, a dozen cookies, but when you pull them out of the oven, you only get 11. Where did that last cookie go? Well, that little kitchen mystery is actually a huge problem on an industrial scale, and it all boils down to this one idea: variable yield. So, what is variable yield? Well, to put it simply, it's the gap between what you plan to make and what you actually get. It's this constant headache, especially in industries that use natural ingredients, like food production, because those ingredients, they're just never 100% predictable. Right, and this is where things get tricky. This unpredictability creates this huge disconnect between the plan on the computer screen and what's actually happening on the factory floor. Okay, let's make this super clear. On paper, in your software, the plan looks perfect, right? 100 kilograms of cream should give you 100 kilograms of butter, a one-to-one deal. But in the real world, it doesn't work that way. You might only end up with 85 kilos of butter. The rest, it becomes buttermilk or just waste. And that 15% gap, that's your profit, literally vanishing into thin air. And why does this happen? Well, it's because natural ingredients are, natural. The fat content in one shipment of cream isn't going to be exactly the same as the next. Some moisture is always going to evaporate during processing. All these little, tiny variations mean that your super rigid recipe, it's really just a hopeful guess, not a guarantee. So you're probably thinking, wait, doesn't my super expensive enterprise software handle this? And, well, you think so, right? But that's actually where the real problem starts. See, the thing is, most standard ERP systems, that's enterprise resource planning software, they're just not built for this. They're designed for what we call discrete manufacturing. Think nuts and bolts, right? Where 1 + 1 always equals 2. They just aren't set up right out of the box to handle the messy, fluid reality of variable yields. And because the software can't handle it, it forces companies into these really clumsy manual workarounds. You've got planners just inflating recipes, basically guessing at how much waste they're going to have. And that snowballs, right? It leads to a ton of manual data entry, mistakes, your cost tracking for each batch is totally off, and good luck trying to figure out why one batch was less efficient than another. It's almost impossible. But what if you could teach the software to think more like a process manufacturer? Let's take a look at a much, much smarter way to do this. Now, the solution here isn't some massive, complicated overhaul of the whole system. Nope, it's surprisingly elegant. It's just a single new field. So check out this new automated process. It's so much better. Step 1, the planner sets their production target. Let's say they want 1,000 kilograms of butter. Okay. Step 2, they enter the expected yield percentage for that specific batch. Maybe it's 85%. And this isn't just a wild guess, right? It's based on real data, like lab tests on the cream's fat content. And then step 3, the system does the rest. It automatically adjusts and calculates the exact amount of ingredients needed to hit that target, already accounting for that expected loss. It's brilliant. And just like that, production planning is totally transformed. It goes from being this art form based on guesswork and intuition to a precise, dynamic science. And believe me, the impact here goes way beyond just better planning. This one little change actually connects a company's entire operation. Okay, let's break this down. That one field really does tie everything together. First, traceability. It becomes flawless. Why? Because now you have a perfect, accurate record of every single component used for that specific batch. Then you have quality control. It's not this separate department anymore. The real-time data from the lab, like the cream's fat percentage, is now directly plugged into the production plan. And finally, cost accounting. This is huge. The system can now automatically calculate the true cost for every single batch. So if one batch had a better yield, the system knows it costs less per kilo. And that accurate number flows right to the balance sheet, instantly. So yeah, it's not just another feature you click on. It really becomes the central nervous system for your whole production line. It's sending and receiving signals between quality, inventory, planning, and finance, and it creates this perfectly coordinated, intelligent operation. All right, so let's get down to it. What does all this control and precision actually mean for the bottom line? What's the payoff? Well, first off, it's fast. A custom solution like this can be designed, built, and implemented in just about 8 to 10 weeks. That's it. It's a quick, focused project. And the investment? It's probably a lot less than you're thinking. We're talking about an average cost of around $10,000, not the hundreds of thousands you might expect for a major ERP customization. It's surprisingly accessible. But here's the kicker. This is the real payoff. For a decent-sized food manufacturer, improving your yield by even 1 or 2%, just by getting rid of the guesswork, can save you tens of thousands of dollars in raw materials every single year. The return on that investment, it can be ridiculously fast. So this completely reframes the whole conversation, doesn't it? This isn't a cost you have to swallow. It's a strategic investment in making your entire operation better, more efficient, more accurate, and at the end of the day, more profitable. And that really leaves us with one final crucial question you should ask yourself. Is your software built for the business you have, or the one you kind of wish you had? Is it forcing you to work around its problems, or is it actually adapting to the reality of your business? You know, all the insights in this explainer, they come from a real-world solution, one that was developed by S.R.L for a food manufacturer in the Dominican Republic. It's proof that bridging that gap between the digital plan and the physical reality isn't just some fantasy. It's not only possible, it's absolutely the key to unlocking operational excellence. Thanks for watching.